Hello and welcome. My name is Rajesh. I am going to start a new series for Flutter, and today we are going to cover the best package, or you can say, which is available top most, like top third like in pub.dev, which is very useful for managing state, managing route, managing tons of things. But let's see which package I'm talking about. The package name is GetX. So GetX is nothing about is a widget library, and which provide lightweight, stable, fast, and it's a Flutter framework, you can say. And as you can say, it is top 3 most like Flutter. Okay, so most like Flutter package. In this package, what we are going to do, we are going to install this package. We will go and start a brand new or basic an application, and in that we'll start managing the state of 2 pages or 3 pages. In multiple pages we will communicate, just like Redux. There are many Flutter management system is available, but the state we are going to manage with currently is GetX. So what GetX provide, first of all it's provide the state manager. It's managing your state. It will help you to bind data from API and get call API and everything, some sort of easy easy peasy to use the API call and all. Next part is a navigation manager in the sense, like if you are in current page like home page, let's suppose, then you would like to go for the next page is a about or something like details page, and you would like to carry some data as well. Then there is something called dependencies, like if you are going to the about page, somehow you need previous record or IDs need to be passed. So that's how we will manage the dependencies of it. So this is the current version, and the last published is 4th March. Okay, so let's see how we can start. So what I'll do, I'll fire up my VS Code and I'll start with new window, and let's open create new project. So I'll move it into this my project directory and Flutter, and here I will say GetX YouTube. Okay, GetX YouTube. And meanwhile, while it's getting created, I'll open my this part main.dart, and I'll open the devices. So I'll start my iOS simulator, and yes, so the application is nearly ready. So let's run it first time. So the boilerplate whatever we have got, that we will see in the UI over here. So just wait, and meanwhile it will get compiled and it will launch. And anyhow, this the boilerplate sample code which is provided by Flutter team, so I'm going to remove it. We'll just use this main page, I mean separately. So I'll guide you what things I would like to do in my style, and how you can work with that. So currently you can see this is a state managed by floating action button. Then there is increment method available. That increment method use set state, and the set state is here. So everything is there. So this is the default which is provided by the Flutter team. So what I'll do, I'll first remove this entire class. Okay, now this is expecting that class or home page. So what I'll do, I'll remove this my home page and remove this comment as well. Currently it's just a root of your application, yes, we all know. That's it. So what I'll do, I'll create 3 folders over here. First folder would be views, second folder would be model, and the next one would be controller. Okay, so why I have created this? So this folder is going to contain all the pages or the widgets inside the views. Model, where I will keep our model structure where data will be presented, I mean the sample classes and all. And then there is the next one is called controller. So in this controller, what I'll do, I'll create my state management, whatever logic I would like to do for my Flutter application, that I will keep inside it. So let's quickly create a home page. So homepage dot dart, and similarly I need one more page, like about page. Just for naming convention I am putting over here, so that we should navigate two pages, so that we should see if it is maintaining the state or not. So it's about dart. Okay, so two pages. So I'll came here again, so I will do this again, same thing, but as of now just close this. And now we have to work on this home page. So first of all, let's import this material package, and let's create a stateless widget. So stateless widget, and I'll paste home page, the name, and instead of container, so what I'll do, I'll return a scaffold. In this scaffold I required app bar, so I'll put app bar. Here we'll go with the title, so title would be text. So text widget, so I'll put this one would be homepage. So currently this is the title, and the next go for the body. So in the body I'll use column, let's suppose column, because it is going to stack everything, okay, column wise. So in this column, so there would be children's. In this children will take a container. So in this container, what I'll do, I'll create one thing. Let's suppose we'll create a placeholder which may contain the count of, just like this application which is currently running. So will contain children text. So the text will contain count, and the real count will be updated here. Currently I am putting just a hard coded value 8 over here, but we'll update this. So let's make this font size also bigger. So style, text style, and font size I'll put 36. So this home page is created. It is not showing just because I have not updated over here or not used as of now. So let's import that package home page, and it is imported over here. Now let's remove, it is not required title. So what I'll do, I'll remove this title. Okay, so the count is there. Let's make a little bit align. So what I'll do, I'll put this into the center visit, yeah, and here main axis alignment, main axis alignment, not in children, actually it should be in column. Main axis alignment, main axis alignment center, yeah. So it is currently in center. Now what we have to do, we have to get our bottom floating action button, which we will click, and then the count has to be updated. So what I'll do, I'll create here one floating action button. So floating action button. So in this floating action button, what I'll do, first I need a child. The child will be an icon. So what I'll do, I'll create a icon, and this icon start plus or count. Let's go for add. And so on press, we need to increment that value, whatever. So whatever logic for incrementing the count has to be written over here, or whether we have to create a separate function for that. So as of now, if I put here print and say count button press, okay, and if I click on it, so it is getting fired. So just for verification and all. So far so good. What we have done here, we have created one text widget. So this text widget is going to just contain the value. Here we have on button press event, which is provided by this floating action button. Okay, so what I have to do, first of all, let's initialize the GetX library and let's see how it works. So let's visit to this web page, and how to install this, the very simple way. As usual, go to the installation and find this library code and go to the pub.yml, and here is the location. After this icon, you can see this is the dependency, so I'm adding over here and just save this file. So VS Code is running to getting this pub.get, so it will get the dependency. Once the dependency is there, so what we have to do, we have to follow this example, or if you want go through this, the basic one, or directly you can use it. So the logic here in a GetX is whatever things you'd like to watch out, or if any changes happen, update in the UI or something like that. So what you can do, you can do something called as make a thing as observable. Let's take an example of this one. So here we have created a count variable. So what I'll do here, in the same, let's comment out, it's not needed as of now. Let's create a var and count initial values will be 0. So what I need, whatever count currently we have, that I would like to showcase over here. So what I'll do, I'll just count over here. Okay, so if you see the UI, the count is currently 0. Okay, so what I wanted to do here, let's suppose if I click on this, so I would like to do count plus plus. So if I do, nothing is happening. Why? Because this floating action button is not updating, and then it's limited to the scope. So how to manage that? And if it is getting updated, meanwhile this UI is not able to represent it over here, because it is not re-rendering or something like in React or some other programming languages. It's interconnected. So what we need make this count object and count value observable. So what I have to do, we have to use OBS. So currently it's not available because we haven't imported our package. So let's import get package get.dart. So make sure you import the correct package. Okay, so now I have observed this value, so get this one. Now what I have to do, first of all, we have to increment this thing just like we are currently doing. So as per what of this example button. So here what we are doing, we are just incrementing the count. Now to see the output, if I currently run this application, if I save this, if it is observable already, if I count, increment, but nothing is happening. Why? Because this text value whatever we are showing is just wrapping this one, okay, the initial. It is not going to watch out whatever changes going to happen again and again in this observable. So how do I get to the latest value or updated record? So what we have to do, we have to wrap this thing into this observable. So we have to use obx. So what we can do, we can wrap this widget, or simply let's do this obx function, and in this function we will create anonymous, and let's get this text inside it. Let's remove this and call this. So example wise, what is happening over here, we have created a variable, this value initial is 0, and we have applied 0 as observable. I mean this variable is going to be observed, and what the package library we are using GetX, and whenever count is get incremented, so the observable will know the value of it, what is the latest value of it. So let's save this and let's increment this. So now you can see that whenever I'm pressing, the count plus plus logic is executing, and then observable is observing only this part of the text widget. So only this important, I mean this text widget is getting to updated, not the entire application. Okay, so this is how it is happening. So this is part of the thing. Now you can say like this is the very smallest example, and it is not maintaining a global state management system, or something superior or some different kind of functionality. What we can do, we can create a controller so that the controller will maintain this value. So what I mean to say, let's create it a home controller .dart. This will be a class file, home controller. It will extend, what it is going to extend, it is going to extend the controller. So same again, I have to import this package GetX.dart, and the controller, which you can say GetX controller, you have to use. GetX controller, or the same thing which currently we did, like we have to let's comment it out, and what we can do, we can define here count initial value is 0. Now what we can do, we can just simply use the our logic, where we can import increment the value. So void, so increment, and in this method, so what we will do, count plus plus, and now the library provide great methods. There are many methods, we'll cover later on, but as of now what we have to do, just update this. So what will happen, whenever you are going to call this increment, the count will do the job, and update will update the related state. So what I'll do, so here what we have to do, you have to get this controller, I mean the centralized position where you have defined your controller, or you can say simply your state, then you have to use over here. So what does it mean? So it means, however, simple example is enough, but whenever something you needed into your centralized location, then what you have to do, you have to create a controller file, or define it, everything, whatever logic you'd like to do, and then use into that widget. So here is an example what we will do as example wise. So we'll create a controller, final controller, and we'll get this controller from get.dart put. So I'm putting to as a dependency, you can say this is a dependency here. Let me create, and what is dependency here? So my home controller, this controller is going to be dependent here. So I'll put home controller, so I'll import this. So the instance I have imported over here. Okay, and as you can see, the home controller which I have defined in the controller directory, which is also got imported over here. Okay, so as simple as that, it's not very difficult to understand. We have created instance of it, and we have put this home controller inside the get put. So what get put will do, so it is going to control this controller whenever something is going to change. So this object or variable, or you can say instance, whatever you would like to call, so it is going to help you to manage your state. So the next part is what we have to do. We have to just first of all, let's do the logic over here. Instead of count plus plus, what we have to do, we have to use controller dot, we have created a method called increment. Let's call this increment method. So what increment will do, once you click on this button, what will increment will go here, it will increase the count, the initial which is 0, and then it will update. If it is get updated, then also here currently we don't have count. So if I say let's get the count, so counter, sorry, not counter, controller dot count. So as of now, if I save it and if I see, the current value is 0. If I restart the application, the value is 0. If I so it says the GetX has been detected, and GetX has been detected, and you should use GetX objects for specific widget that will be updated. So what does it mean? It is meaning is that you can't use objects over here. So what you have to do, you have to use watcher, or you can say observable, but not in this widget. So there is a specific widgets available for this called GetBuilder, which is provided by them. So what we have to do, use over here GetBuilder. So what I'll do, while remove this, first of all, let's keep your text as it is. Okay, and if I save, everything will rerun properly, you can see. But if I click on it, it's getting updated, but we can't see this value. To see this value, what we have to do, we have to get this builder, or how this builder works. I'll explain it very simple way. What we have to do, first of all, let's wrap this builder. So I'll create get builder. This get builder required controller, which controller this builder going to be connected. So I'll put over here the name of builder. So as of now, we are managing the controller is home controller, so just put home controller. Okay, next part is builder required few things. So let's just remove this. builder required as a builder. Currently the builder is text, but how this text would work, so simply I'll create a function over here. Okay, and I need to wrap this thing, one more bracket I think it's required. Yeah, so just we have to pass something so that the builder will get connected with it. So let me explain it very clearly. What we are doing, we are just wrapping our text widget over here, you can see, and with a get builder. So get builder, what will do, it will, whenever some value get updated, then it will showcase over here. Okay, so if I save and if I navigate to this page, so currently if you can see, the last time we have called multiple time pressed the button. So let's increase this. So now it is working. So this is the one of the simplest way, but currently we are not dependent on this variable, or not on specific page only. So if I would like to update some other page, as we are talking about about page as well, so what we will do, we will navigate from this page to the about page, and there also we will try to showcase that value if it is containing, and if it is containing, update from there, and back and forth we will watch the values. Okay, so what we have to do, let's create a button over here again to navigate to that page. After the container, what I'll do, I'll create one more let's put icon button. So icon button, so icon here, icons dot or next, navigate next simply, or here just press comma, and on press we have to put some logic here to navigate to that page. Oops, why it is not working? Oh, I forgot this bracket. Okay, so on press, what we have to do, navigate to next page. So currently the next page is nothing about, is about page. So what we have to do, initially we used to write context and navigator dot many line of code, so which I don't remember it out, but in this thing GetX will give you the very simplest way. Like if you would like to navigate from one page to next page, what just you have to do, you have to just write get.to and the page name itself. So let's say about page. So currently we don't have it, so what we will quickly create this about page, import, let's import this material, import material, and stateless widget, what else, about page. So in this, instead of controller, I mean container, what we will do, wrap with the scaffold, and let's do the app bar, and app bar, it is going to contain title, and let's put a title of text widget, and the text widget would be about page, so that we will get to know currently we are in about page. And let's go for the body, and the body will contain with column, and the column will contain the same information, like we will showcase the count currently, what count we had, previous page, and also is having the same count over here as well, so that we can manage both the pages state. So that to demonstrate you easily to understand, both are containing the same value, or the updated value, as you can say, is the single location we have defined our controller, and that controller is managing both the pages. So the simplest way, so let's go for the children. In the children, let's create a text widget, and the text we have to show the count, and the count currently we don't have it, so we'll just put 0. And let's make this fonts style, text style, font size 36. So we got this text widget. Now let's navigate to this, and what we will do, we uncomment this and we say about page. Yes, it is. So currently we are navigating to about page. Okay, so the little button over here which is available for navigating to about page, but whenever I clicked, so I got error. So what is this error? So you may see this error whenever you are trying, because currently we are not navigating with navigator through, and this entire page, this page, or this about page is totally based on this my app, and my app is nothing about, is a material app. Okay, so the material app is already having everything which is already in place. Good. What we have to do, if we want easy navigation and navigation through this library called GetX. Okay, so GetX will give you the many functionality. So what you have to do, you have to just wrap this get material app. Okay, and you have to also import this library. So import get.dart. Nothing you have to change, only what you have to do, you have to just add get and import the library and just save it. If you see, is compiled, and if I navigate to this one, it is also refreshed. So let's refresh again, so that you should be considering it's very fresh application. So as example wise, you can say home controller has been initialized, created, and same material controller has been initialized and created. Both things are done. Okay, now what we have to do, let's increment this count, and if I try to navigate from this location, I mean this one, yeah, so currently we are in about page, so we are here. So what we will do, let's make it in center, main axis alignment in center. Okay, and let's wrap this with center widget, so that it should be in center. Okay, good. Now if you see, the count is 0. Initially we have set it. Now we have already controller, we have defined center location, we are incrementing from here. Now everything is there, but if I would like to use that value over here, how do I get that? And the very simple way, what you have to do, let's just remove this thing, it's not needed as of now. If you need access the same value or global scope or global state, so what you have to do, you have to do one thing, like get that or you have to just find it out. So how you will find out from one page to another page? So simply, first of all, you have to import this library get.dart, and you have to create this one object. I mean, you can say you have to create a instance of it. Okay, so let's say final my controller. What was the name? Controller, home controller, home controller, and instance is like controller. And what you have to do, get dot find. You have to do find. So what we'll do, if it is connected with any controller, so what it will do, it will go and find it. Okay, once it is found, what you have to do, same thing, you have to just assign over here. What we can do here, let's use the controller dot count and close this bracket. And currently we are not updating anything. Oops, we are not updating anything. Just save this value. You know, if you see, the previous page has count 5. If I put 8 and if I navigate, it is also having the count 8, correct? What if we do, we create one counter plus over here. So let's quickly create, you know, simply one button. Let's say icon button only. Icon button, icon dot add something, or in this on press, what we have to do, we have to what we have to do, we have to just you know, increment the same function. So we, you know, you remember we have defined this increment, and then we can use it in about page as well. So what we will do, controller dot increment, that's it. So this is, if you see the full code, it's a very minimal line of code, and we have just instantiated the home controller, or you can say global state, and just connected with the find. Once it is available, then we are showcasing over here, and here as well we are just incrementing this thing. Just save this value. So we got the count button over here. Okay, it's not look like button, but just consider that as a moment. If you go back and forth, both the value have the same thing. If I increment, nothing is happening. What could be the reason? If you go to the back one, yes, it is having the value, but if you go to the this one, then it's getting, but immediately this page is not getting updated. What could be the reason? You guess it. You remember we had wrapped this thing with something. The same thing, what we have to do, we have to go and use over here, so the builder, which I explained you, the builder we have to use. So what we do, we wrap this with builder. Okay, it is also updating, back is also updating. So let's quickly recap this, what we have to done, what we have done so far, and so good. So we just created, you know, simple application, and instead of material app, just get material app, and nothing fancy. We defined the home page. In home page, what we have defined, we have defined a controller. This controller is nothing about, is, let's go to this, is nothing about a state management controller, and it's a simple class file, but we have GetX controller, so it's got another power. If you ask me like where is the update, so this is all about this GetX controller having all the information. So what I have done, created a variable, unsigned with value, and incremented with plus plus. So this is the increment method, is the simplest method. Now here what we have done, we have increased the value controller dot increment. Once the increment is done, then we have to get observing the things, whatever changes has been done, the builder will get to know what changes has been done in this controller. So that's why we have you know, pass this home controller over here, and then instance of it, it will know what is the value of it. So this is the one thing. Once if you would like to navigate from one page to another page, so what you have to do, just get.to and the name of the page. So the name of page currently we have about page, so this is the going to take me about page. In the about page the same process is there, but only we have done very minimal line of code. We have already home controller which is maintaining our state, but we want instance of that, so we just created an instance. And that instance, how it will find, so GetX will give you the, if this controller is already bind with the GetX, so it will find it and assign the values to you. So all the control which is has in the previous state will come to you, and then you can do the same GetBuilder, and if you would like to increment, do increment. So currently everything is working as expected. Back and forth navigation is also working. So as of now this video is very basic, but in future we will come up with the many more options. So thank you so much, and keep subscribing, do like, share if you find this useful to you, and let me know in the comment section what else part you would like to know from me. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much. Bye.